We went in to tea, and all that the ladies could prevail upon my master for was a dancing match before he left this county. But Miss Darnford said it should then be at their house, for truly, if she might not be at the wedding, she would be affronted, and come no more hither till we had been there. When they were gone, my master would have had my father stay till the affair was over, but he begged he might set out as soon as it was light in the morning, for, he said, my mother would be doubly uneasy at his stay, and he burned with impatience to let her know all the happy things that had befallen her daughter. When my master found him so desirous to go, he called Mr. Thomas and ordered him to get a particular bay horse ready betimes in the morning for my father, and a portmanteau to put his things in, and to attend him a day's journey. And if, said he, Mr. Andrews chooses it, see him safe to his own home. And, added he, since that horse will serve you, Mr. Andrews, to ride backwards and forwards to see us when we go into Bedfordshire, I make you a present of it, with the accoutrements. And, seeing my father going to speak, he added, I won't be said nay. Oh, how good was this! He also said a great many kind things at supper time, and gave him all the papers he had of mine, but desired, when he and my mother had read them, that he would return them to him again. And then he said, so affectionate a father and daughter may, perhaps, be glad to be alone together. Therefore, remember me to your good wife, and tell her it will not be long, I hope, before I see you together, on a visit to your daughter at my other house. And so I wish you good night, and a good journey if you go before I see you. And then he shook hands, and left my dear father almost unable to speak, through the sense of his favours and goodness. You may believe, my dear mother, how loath I was to part with my good father, and he was also unwilling to part with me. But he was so impatient to see you, and tell you the blessed tidings, with which his heart overflowed, that I could hardly wish to detain him. Mrs. Jewkes brought 2 bottles of cherry brandy, and 2 of cinnamon water, and some cake, and they were put up in the portmanteau with my father's newly presented clothes, for he said he would not, for anything, be seen in them in his neighbourhood till I was actually known by everybody to be married, nor would he lay out any part of the 20 guineas till then neither, for fear of reflections, and then he would consult me as to what he would buy. Well, said I, as you please, my dear father, and I hope now we shall often have the pleasure of hearing from one another, without needing any art or contrivances. He said he would go to bed betimes, that he might be up as soon as it was light. And so he took leave of me, and said he would not love me if I got up in the morning to see him go, which would but make us both loath to part, and grieve us both all day. Mr. Thomas brought him a pair of boots, and told him he would call him up at peep of day, and put up everything overnight. And so I received his blessing and his prayers, and his kind promises of procuring the same from you, my dear mother, and went up to my closet with a heavy heart, and yet a half-pleased one, if I may so say, for that, as he must go, he was going to the best of wives, and with the best of tidings. But I begged he would not work so hard as he had done, for I was sure my master would not have given him 20 guineas for clothes, if he had not designed to do something else for him, and that he should be the less concerned at receiving benefits from my good master, because he, who had so many persons to employ in his large possessions, could make him serviceable to a degree equivalent without hurting anybody else. He promised me fair, and pray, dear mother, see he performs. I hope my master will not see this, for I will not send it you at present, till I can send you the best of news, and the rather, as my dear father can supply the greatest part of what I have written, since the papers he carries you by his own observation. So good night, my dear mother, and God send my father a safe journey, and a happy meeting to you both.